What up, guys? Welcome back. Fast Friends, episode 5. Got a special guest here today. Free ride legend right now. Current Red Bull Imagination champion. Just all around badass on the bike.
First time X Games this last year. Going into it again next year. More prepared, probably more fired up, more pumped. Taking over YouTube, multiple clips. You've seen them all over Instagram.
Dude is hucking backflips, just free
knack
ride,
whip,
no worries.
just natural terrain. So
Patrick Evans.
Let's go.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
You're blowing up whether you like it or not.
It's cool.
It's happening.
It's cool. I'm rolling with it. It's been a lot. Like, it's been kind of gnarly the past few months for sure. Definitely got but we kind of passed the hard part. Like the end of last year with like all like the deals ending and stuff, and like trying to figure out what I was gonna do. That's kind of where it was like.
Was this the goal, the decision to like do what you're doing, or is it kind of just naturally, kind of just happening? What's the vibe?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely always wanted to like do X Games and like be in Best Whip and stuff. And whoa,
dude!
Oh my gosh,
man, he's gonna leave.
Professional podcast. My phone's on silent. I've been missing texts and everything too.
The audacity.
Oh, dude! And then I'm over here with my speaker blaring.
It's Kyle's birthday. Someone just telling Kyle happy birthday.
The birthday. Cheers, boys.
Happy birthday, Kyle.
Chew.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so like blowing up lately, definitely this past like season we'll call it, but like is this the goal, or is this naturally kind of just how things are going? Like, what's the vibe on the whole deal?
Yeah, I always like wanted to be in X Games and stuff, and like it's really cool doing those contests and stuff, but the more like lately it's been like with YouTube and having more ways to like express myself and really finding like a groove in it now. Like I really like doing the longer format videos, and I can put the music I like into it and stuff. And also it gives you like a big reason every week to go do something, like because you got to make a new YouTube video, right, or something, or just do something. So it's been pretty fun. It's kind of been naturally just like working out really good, and like I'm finding a nice groove of filming stuff, making content. Because
you were originally a filmer, correct?
Yes.
So that's kind of, we don't hear about that very often.
Yeah,
like you've been hiding your dirt bike skills. You're back behind the camera. Now you're in front of it.
Yeah, we'll circle back actually to when I met you for the first time. You came over to my house with Malcolm McCassey
and Rico, right?
And
or was it just me and Malcolm?
Uncle Rico?
I think it was just you and
just
Malcolm. And it was just like me and my wife and my old roommate Alvi, and we just rode some electric razors around. But you were filming. I didn't correlate that you were. Dude, when I started watching you kill it, I was like, yeah.
Well, I was just some random film kid for sure.
You were then, right?
That's when I first moved out to California. I just wanted to film stuff.
Where are you from?
Born in Annapolis, Maryland, like right by Pastrana's. But I kind of grew up in like Monroe, North Carolina.
I would have just never known that. I thought you were just a Cali kid.
No.
So that was when you first moved out here. And then you were already riding a bunch, and then it just started more and more.
No, I didn't even ride when I came here.
What?
Yeah, because I took like 8 years off. Because I didn't ride from like super mini or like not even I just got on 85s and stopped, and then I was doing the film stuff.
So you said super mini, so obviously you raced.
Yeah, I raced a lot. I never made it super minis actually. I stopped in 85s.
Okay.
But yeah, I raced a lot like 50, 65.
Okay.
And I did like super good. Like locally, I like won all the time and stuff.
You raced Budds Creek?
Yeah,
nice.
Times. I did the 125 All Stars at Budds Creek, and it was sick.
Nice.
I crashed in the first turn like 2 years in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, I went through like a good stint of just wadding up in the first turn at all these random races for a while.
Yeah, because you're not like, when you watch you ride, you're not just hitting the jump, like you can rip, like you're fast.
I like riding tracks.
Yeah,
I like racing.
Dude, you ride Supercross.
I like, I love, that's like what I grew up racing. Like my dad wasn't really like a go freestyle free ride guy. Like I remember getting yelled at because I like went too fast around the driveway one time, like on Concord. Like, we're not doing Supermoto. So I was never like, we were always pretty like cut and dry race.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I love. I still love it. You take 8 years off, like you can't come back like to the
oh no,
just the mental awareness of racing for 8 years and growing up doing it. Like I can't there,
yeah,
like,
you don't.
The best I've done is get smoked at like any national I've gone to. I got smoked and just.
Have you raced a national? Or
yeah, I keep doing it on 125s and making it really hard on myself. It's more fun that way.
Nice.
But yeah,
that's rad. You and Stank Dog?
My first Supercross I did was Stank on
Nice.
125s, and it was terrifying.
Yeah,
Dude,
definitely.
it was the biggest finish line of any Supercross ever, A3.
Yeah.
And there's like a roller too. You had to come out of a turn, grab third gear as you wheelie a roller, and then everything it had over this. It was over the. It was like the first turn went through it, you know.
Oh
So it
yeah,
was
so just a huge
massive.
gap.
Yeah, and that
That's-
Stank Dog did it first practice in the mud. It took me until the last practice I finally hucked it because it was dry enough. Stank Dog's gnarly.
Yeah, he is. What year was that?
That was 2 years ago now. So
Nice.
I did Glendale on a 250F this year. It's got like a really bad start. It was a Triple Crown, so LCQ was
Last
pretty
year.
gnar. This year. Or wait.
Well, this year's only been a
Last
few
year.
months.
Yeah,
I
it was,
think-
no, it was this
No?
year.
Well,
This year.
Glendale's this coming weekend.
Glendale's
So it was
this
1
weekend.
year ago.
So it was,
Well, whatever. It's 2024, dude.
Sorry. That's right. I forgot how far into the series we are right now. My bad.
I did not see
I
you
was like, this
next.
year.
I didn't see you next weekend at
Forgot
Glendale,
forgot
dude.
it's February. I'm not on the entry this year.
all right, I guess
The
you got to
last
sign
year.
up now.
Dark future. Talk about going into the future, dude.
I know. Now I got a good excuse of why I can't go do Supercross. Like,
Dude.
Yeah.
Dark.
No class for it.
We have like 100 reasons why we can't. You only have one. That's pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
Huntington Beach, but I'm moving. I just got a new house in Winchester.
Oh, hell
It's
yeah.
Like Marietta.
I kind of grew up in Winchester, spent a lot of my time there, like high school
Really?
years, off Winchester Road and Leon Road out
Yeah.
there on acreage. And I would do starts in the backyard and I thought I was just going, dude, being the next guy. But
I was
didn't
going
work
to
out.
be the next guy.
didn't work out.
That's what I'm about to be. Like I can ride from my garage and I have like some turn tracks and stuff. I'm just gonna ride all the time. I got the electric bikes and no one can hear it.
It's clutch, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna
awesome.
be sweet.
Are you digging the Stark?
Yeah.
Those things are so cool. I actually rode one last week at Kauai with Lincoln. We
Oh,
were
really?
out there.
Sick,
They
right?
met him out there, and we did some stuff. And I didn't actually like ride it with gear on. I just wore my clothes
So
just because I wanted to like see what it was like, and I wanted to see the dashboard and stuff. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's rad. No, I mean anyone who rides it like never hates on it. I've never heard anyone get on that bike and have a bad thing to say about it after. Like
I mean, it's
So gnarly.
inevitable.
Yeah.
It's coming.
you gotta ride with gear on though. And, like dude, it's crazy. It takes a minute. It's like a whole different experience, kind of. It's not like a 450. I ride it so much different.
Yeah.
Dude,
It is. Yeah.
we did a quarter pipe for the first time. 2 days ago. And my calves, like I can't even walk down my stairs right now. Cause like I think not having like the shifter and just the way the center of gravity is lower, I feel like I'm so planted on my feet on that bike. Like,
Yeah.
well, also quarter pipe really takes it out of your legs too. But
Is the
Stark is like it's a whole different deal.
Do you think the electric bike is what allows you to like do your like knack whips and stuff just a little longer, a little?
I haven't actually even done a knack
Oh,
on it yet.
that wasn't
That
because-
wasn't it,
Oh, I
right?
thought
that
that
was
was
stupid.
Stark.
That was from the
Okay.
450. Because
450.
I hook my foot under the shifter
Yeah.
when I do it, and I don't have a shifter on the. I was literally just
So
texting.
That'll
my
come.
buddy.
You make like a bar,
We're making one
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
and
I'm
then like
hoping-
that's safer because it's not gonna shift it. So-
yeah, it'd be
kinda-
nicer. I think it's
Yeah.
just gonna be in one spot, and yeah, like sometimes going out, I'll shift up in the corner and then go up to the ramp with my foot like just up. Which is kind of
and
scary.
Kinda can pull the whole bike around.
It's a little sketchy, so
Little
it'd be
bit.
nice to not to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, those things are going to evolve a lot. Just all of those little things like that. And
That's what I keep thinking about too. Like anything bad about it, like it's gonna get fixed. It's just gonna get better. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, tell us about Red Bull Imagination. That's pretty cool. First year going there, right?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
you freaking waxed it.
went really good. I was stoked.
Watching it as like just down in my living room down there, just clicking through, watching it as a fan. I'm like, I've been loving watching you for the past few years. So nice
Thank you,
work.
dude.
But I was like, dude, these guys are in trouble. This guy's got speed. He's got skills. He's whipping it both ways, the whole deal. So it was pretty
Thanks,
cool to
dude.
see
Yeah,
you
I got a
take
lot
that.
of love from that. Like it was really cool. Like Weege was like hyping me up a bunch too.
Incredible style on whips for years, but he has really stepped up the game. For Imagination, he went from left to right and then right to left. He flipped it, and then look at that turn down. Unbelievable. Patrick Evans has brought his A+ game to Imagination.
Yeah, that was
Thanks.
kind of
He was.
funny. He was the announcer.
Yeah. He
I
was
like
getting-
that guy.
He was
He's
getting
awesome.
me stoked. So like,
He is awesome. Like he's always been like just such. He's just so passionate about the sport, and he's so knowledgeable, and all the words he
The
uses.
more
are cool.
I've been
He's
watching
rad.
him, even like I've known him for a long time because he lives in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So like I used to see
East
him at the
Coast.
JGR shop all the time.
All right.
But yeah, like the more even lately, like seeing him like on Gypsy Tales and stuff, like
Dude, when
he
you-
is like just so into it.
When
like,
you
he loves
start
it.
out as a flagger at Englishtown motocross track,
Is that how he started?
that's where that's the start of his career.
I didn't even
And
know
now
that.
he's the guy. Like that
Yeah,
announces
killing it.
all this stuff.
He does
I'm
a
like,
good job too.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah,
I watched his little. I don't know which one it was with the gypsy thing that he did, but it looked like they were in a booth at a stadium or something, and it was really cool. It was intriguing to me to hear his story, like Ouija's story. He was explaining how his parents didn't let him
That was the 805s.
crack another one. Bro.
my bad.
But yeah, he was explaining how his parents didn't let him ride, and like it was a long journey, but like he got every cycle news, read every magazine, and was just in it.
That's sick. Dude.
Yeah, they
he,
like
he
it.
didn't know Knack Knack on the Imagination broadcast that he said like, oh, it does a big whip with the foot off. But so
He knows
freestyle.
knack-knack.
He does.
You
Yeah.
made it look too weird.
Yeah, probably, huh?
Yeah, it was a
Freestyle may not be his forte, but yeah, he's been killing it, dude. It's been kind of cool seeing.
Yeah, he's just a good vibes, that guy.
What about? So you're from, not North Carolina, Maryland, and then you moved to North Carolina when you.
I
were
mean,
a
I'm
kid?
pretty much from North Carolina, but I was
Basically.
like getting the Annapolis shout
So,
out.
so
you
talk
know?
about like when you moved to Southern California. Like, where did you live? How
I
did
lived
that
at.
come
I showed at
about?
Rico's house, Rico Ferrante, who was working
No
at Wiener
way.
Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just showed up
Rico's
at his.
longtime friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man. I showed up at his doorstep pretty much. I actually think I forgot to tell him I was coming out.
Well, like, what got you to come?
I was coming to come film stuff. I was like a 17-year-old kid. I had done like I was filming luxury cars in North Carolina. Like I had to deal with like Ferrari of Charlotte or something, going in just like filming.
Yeah.
Instagram was new, so you could just like pitch all these companies like, hey, I'll make some Insta clips and make good money.
Oh, like run
But
their social.
yeah,
kind
so
of?
like I was like kind of in like the rat race over there, but then I was just kind of over it and like I want to come film like action sports stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that being able to still ride and have that be a career was even remotely in the cards. I thought riding was gone for sure.
No
Which-
way.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I for sure thought.
So you
that
didn't
was
come
it.
here for that,
No, I was just filming stuff.
or for this. Or
Oh, I wanted to be in action sports. I knew that. Like,
Yeah.
And I was kind of getting bummed doing like the car thing. I was like, I want to be back. Like, I want to go. I just wanted to make like dirt bike movies, really. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make dirt bike content.
Yeah.
You know.
It's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
When I started like watching you ride, I'm like, God, he's so good. I just figured you kind of always rode and were always around. So to hear that you took that long off, didn't even think
Almost
it
a
was in the
decade.
cards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you just
So,
did that
Yeah,
at
it's
Rebel
wild.
Imagination.
Wild.
That's pretty
Let's go to
crazy.
win 'em at- yeah, it's crazy.
but you're living with Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't come here to ride.
Rico had a 2011 KX250F.
Someone's always got an extra bike
He had
in
an
the
extra
garage,
bike.
dude.
He sold it to me. He always says he gave me a really good deal. He sold it to me about what it was worth.
MSRP.
I freaking ripped you off.
It was like $2,500. I mean, it was a decent deal.
Yeah.
But I borrowed his truck. I didn't even have a truck. I had the car, and I would take his truck, drive to Milestone, and ride. Like I was on the vet track, just trying to remember how to hit all the jumps, dude. Like I wasn't good when I first started riding again. Like I knew I would get there. I definitely didn't think I would get like back to where I like fully was or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was a time where I was pretty squirrely. Like there's clips of me like at Paula when they used to have the ramp set up. And I frame cased the thing and walked down the landing. I'll send it to you guys. We'll roll the clip.
yeah,
Sanders
we'll
took
roll
that
the clip.
clip. So you can ask like Twitch and those dudes. Like there was a good period when I was pretty out of control, just trying to get the bike back under me.
Yeah, when Tyler was here, we were chatting with him. I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but I'm like, "What's up with Patrick Evans?" Blah blah, blah. And he's like, "Oh, a little fucking shit." Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "But man, he's really freaking killing it nowadays." He's like, "We just can't deny it anymore," and he's just
like
killing it. And he's
I was
so
a little
good.
shithead when I first.
No,
came
it's
on
like
the
Yeah.
scene,
it's
too.
like the way
it's warranted.
like the way
Tyler was a little shit too,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
Hey, we all were.
we're all saying
the way like Twitch talk about Tyler is like the way Tyler talk about you. It's
All right.
kind of like
All right.
going down. I was like, that's good company right there. Like,
All
yeah.
right, that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to grow up. Everyone does. You gotta
Yeah.
go from like 23 and to now.
So, dude, you grew up racing. Your dad was pumped on the racing. Seemed like he backed it. Why did you stop racing or riding for 8 years? Like, what happened when you just stopped? Like,
I
you're
just
on.
got burnt out. Like I think.
Did you do another sport or?
Yeah, I got in BMX.
Oh, okay.
And I got heavy into that too. And then I thought I was gonna do that full time, but then I got kind of burnt out of that even too. Like, it was just classic like mini kid. Like, locally, we'd go and win, and like every weekend we just go and win. Like the only time I would lose is like something's wrong with the bike or a crash. It was super rare.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. So, but then it turns into like I mean, even as a kid, like you're going and winning, it's not even fun when you're winning. And then if you do lose, it's like the end of the world.
Dude, that's tripping me out because the way my pops was, it's like we went there to win, and if you did, cool.
Yeah,
let's go to Del Taco.
And
if you lose though, bro.
And it wasn't even like my
okay.
parents weren't like psycho any parents, but I mean they were so far the other direction. But I was just on myself. Like, so it started just not being that fun, and then like right when we got on 85s, like Ernesto Fonseca got paralyzed, and my dad was kind of tight with him, and I always thought he was one of my favorite riders.
Awesome guy.
He was all real short, so his style was kind of cool. I thought.
He was cool. He was awesome. On the 125, he was sick.
Yeah,
125, and then the Yamaha 250Fs when they first came out, he was perfect for that thing.
Oh no, yeah, Ernie ended up getting hurt, and
so it kind of just like bummed you out. You kind of saw that, like you're like, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to get hurt.
You know what? It was when that happened. Like my parents almost like kind of were like starting to be like almost wanting me to stop.
Yeah.
So as soon as I had like they were kind of like trying to push it the other way too.
Yeah.
So I just and I was riding BMX a bunch and I was getting into that.
Yeah.
And then I got super into that. Like I won like a free flow junior championship and stuff.
Not racing.
Dirt jump. Freestyle.
Okay.
Freestyle BMX.
I could see how that ties over to what you're doing now, like a lot.
Looking back on it now, I realize a lot. Like that, I think that's a big part of it. Like I was like a park rat, so I was doing like front flips and 3 double whips and stuff. Like I think it's funny too. Like I had a bunch of like world's first, like youngest I think to do some stuff, and now it's like 7-year-olds that are doing triple truck drivers over 7
at the
foot
Supercross
spines.
in the pits, they had that ramp with the like blow up landing.
Yeah,
the kids on the Stasics.
Yeah, that's like Matto's kids.
6-year-old did like a backflip.
Yeah, Matto Cruz is flipping 85 right now at age 12.
Yeah,
like,
we weren't doing that on our 85s at the local race.
My first backflip on a BMX bike was like 10, and that was like pretty young then. Now it's like
my first backflip on a BMX bike was never.
Hey, how about learning the backflip recently on the dirt bike?
That sucked.
But you've got it so dialed. It seems like it wasn't much of a learning curve. Like you got it.
I think from
clean.
flipping BMX so long, like it wasn't hard to learn. It was more just like a mental thing. Like
you were doing it in the foam.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
How was it like the first couple?
In the foam wasn't a big deal. Like the first one in the foam on Super Kicker was pretty scary, but not like.
You're like,
big.
Here we go.
Yeah, first one was like scary. Other than that, it was fine. Even going to 75 in the foam wasn't that bad. But going from foam to dirt on the 75 was really, really gnarly because that's like.
There's no.
I remember when I first started riding again. Like I turned the corner one day when I just started riding ramps. I was at Militia, I think, and I turned and looked at the ramp. I was like, man, I would never look at that and do a backflip. Like never would I ever do that. And then I'm like, turn the corner. I'm like, oh, you said you wouldn't do it.
Your inner voice is like, we said no.
Yeah, we
dude.
said this wasn't gonna happen.
What are you
like,
doing?
So trying to like convince myself that it was okay to go up and do it like was a lot.
How was the first one to dirt?
Perfect. I spent a whole day freaking out, not doing it, and throwing shit.
I could imagine.
Yeah, I had a little mental breakdown one day.
Really?
Yeah, but came back like a weekend, like spent the weekend chilled out, came back and did it. But
you just thought about it straight the whole time, probably.
Oh, I was just so focused, dude. Like, I feel like after like X Games, that's like kind of what we were talking about before we started rolling. Like X Games, had my first X Games, didn't really go like it went okay, but like I learned so much like mentally how to like. You gotta be ready for that type of stuff. Like going in to go do the flip, I'm like, okay, the whole day before or night before, like have kind of like a routine to be like mentally ready for it, So
yeah.
Like,
no, it was good for you. Like everyone was pumped on you. You got a lot of good press from that. Like everyone was stoked to see you out there. It was kind of like here I am. I mean, for people that aren't really into it to the point where they saw the imagination, like X Games was like, who's this guy? This guy's upside down, backwards.
It was pretty cool, like how they filmed it, where they filmed it, and the vibe of it. It was pretty cool. Like watch it this year.
Same place next year.
Yeah.
Same place.
I've heard for a few years, maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I went to every X Games for like a long time.
You didn't go to this one?
I went to Winter X Games for probably 3 or 4 years in a row. That was such a fun experience.
I don't like the cold.
But we were either in Suburbans with heaters or mansions with heaters pretty much the whole time. It was like a fun ass
or
time.
mansions.
Yeah, it was
Were
a
you
good
a monster
time.
rep or something?
Yeah, I was doing the monster
okay.
thing at the time.
It almost sounds like this dude was at the parties.
Secret Service.
Oh, dude, I want to say maybe it was the first or second year, But we had a monster party at and it's in Aspen, and it was at the top, right, of the mountain.
But I can imagine.
It was like this rad like area there, and so we ran to get up there. You have to take the gondola up there, and we put green glow sticks in all the gondolas, and like that's how everyone was going to the party. So like Paul Wall, Scheckler, Danny Dingo, like that whole just sending, dude, because you're at the top of Aspen, dude. Just a
little place called Aspen.
The top.
The
Dropped
top.
a couple names down there on the way up.
The top, dude. It was what an experience that was. But anyways, X Games is pretty fun, like in LA and stuff. But I haven't been for years. I'm definitely gonna go this.
Dude, Ventura was cool.
Yeah,
I was really hyped that was my first one too, because it felt way more like, just the vibe was pretty sick. Like,
it seemed like good vibe just from seeing footage.
Big crowds, everyone was having fun.
Yeah,
beach. It was sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, what's that bear?
That's dude. Kyle's Mammoth, badass.
Are you serious? What that bear is?
What do you mean?
You raced Mammoth, right?
No, I mean, like, what'd you win at Mammoth?
Oh,
I don't have a bear. No
races. Look at, they're hiding.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I that year I got all 3 bears because I won all 4 motos Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Blake's like, man, I gotta cut all this shit out right now. Like, you're blowing this.
What do you mean? This is some good shit.
Vet intermediate.
Woo! Get there one day, dude. Just respect.
I hope so.
Hey, a 30.
Your title right there.
A 30 plus vet intermediate is a class where dudes are like old enough to be gnarly and send it, but like not serious enough to where they're like that gnarly. So the class,
top 2 probably are.
So the class is fun to battle in. And then but then after that I actually raced like probably 2 or 3 years of the 30 plus pro class. And the first year I did it, I got 5th, and I was battling with like back end and those guys, and they would yard me about lap 3, and then I would settle into like 4th, 5th, and 6th over the weekend. Ended up with 5th overall.
Mammoth sucks, dude. Mammoth's so gnarly.
Yeah, got to battle with like Mike Mason, Kerry Hart.
Oh, that's sick. Mammoth locals.
Timmy Wiegand. Obviously, I think Wiegand was I don't know. I forget who won that one.
My results
Rhino
always
or something.
sucked at Mammoth, but like lost my virginity in Mammoth, so that's really good.
Wow, that's a
memory for
great
me.
story.
Yeah.
The party's always been good.
And then like I watched Pink propose to Kerry Hart during the race on the pit board. Like watch the whole thing go down. She proposed to him.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So
Wild.
I see Pink and I'm like, I don't know, whatever age I am, and I'm like, well, I wonder what she's doing. Why she got a pit board? She's like writing, "Will you marry me?" on this pit board. And so I like follow. She walks up the start, and I just like followed her. This is before like I had a phone to film anything or whatever. And like Carrie's coming by like in this race, and she just jumps out on the track in that gnarly spot with all the ruts when you come up, and just holds out the pit board, and he just like skids off the track, almost gets completely destroyed by like 2 guys, throws his bike down, and like says yes, and I'm just
He read it and stopped.
Yeah, dude.
It was pretty.
I would have missed it. I was like, I don't care about my lap
I'm
time.
not looking at my pit board.
No, he's like, bro, Pink. He's like, we're getting married, dude.
I call her Alicia. Is that her
Oh
name?
yeah, well, you
Is that her name?
Yeah,
Alicia.
I
Yeah.
call her. Is that her name?
Oh, you mean Alicia? Yeah.
That'd be weird to call her that if that wasn't her name. But yeah, anyway, Mammoth has great memories. Thought I'd share a few.
I think it's like such a fun race just because the vibe's good, you know?
The vibe's good. The track's just so gnarly. I finally started getting the hang of it like the last year I was there. Like,
You don't think it's like really fun?
Dude, it looks amazing, but it doesn't
See, I just think it's
translate
super
when you're
fun.
on it.
I mean, I had fun the last time, but man, it was the only race I did good was like the 2-stroke heat. You know, it was like in 2 heats, and I kind of had like not the most stacked heat, so I was like, all right, this is finally got a decent start. And I was like rolling, I think I was in like 5th or something, past some like younger kids, like Revan Gordon and stuff were in it. So I was like, all right, I'll pass this little Grom. Felt good about myself. I got to like 2nd, and then I thought it was like a 5-lap race. So I kind of gassed myself. And that Landon Peppard kid, have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
He's pretty
yeah.
sick. He was behind me, and heard him coming. And dude, I had to hang on for like 3 extra laps, just waiting for that white flag. And the elevation's so gnarly. Like, I was
it gets you.
dying, dude.
No, the fitness is real.
And then last corner, Landon gets me. And I was like, dude, I did all that work. I pulled off the track, fell over. Like I was on the podium, was on the ground. There's pictures of me. I look like
Don't worry about
dead.
it. I was leading a 250 novice heat race on Jeremy McGrath's dirt bike, and I got caught and passed by some dude named Victor Sheldon.
That is
in
weird.
my heat race.
Do you know Victor?
He took,
No, just a name like Victor
Dude,
Sheldon,
he
I don't think he'd be that fast.
His nickname's the Slasher. Does that change your mind?
A little bit.
Okay. He was a jet ski world champion.
Like multi-time
super good-
stand-up jet ski
Sorry.
world champ.
Super great dirt bike rider, too.
Okay.
But he took I was going to get one little win, and he
was
snatched it from me.
Yeah,
I was
he's
just
like,
looking for a
I'm
second,
I'm
man.
still pissed.
And hey, in 4 more years, you can race the vet class and possibly get some bears.
Yeah, right. I got to race like Jason Potter and Josh Grant. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to go over well.
No. Yeah.
You can buy those at the gift shop, too, and
Yeah, put a little
For like
plaque on
40
it.
bucks.
I'd rather do that.
Yeah,
participant.
it's actually where I got them.
No, I see.
14.
I put vet intermediate
No, but
on there.
you know the really shitty, scary part of Mammoth you're talking about? How it's like
the
not,
rollers.
it's not loamy. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, you're not locked on the track. I've always
Which,
felt,
I'm
this
cool with
guy don't
that.
give a shit about that.
Like
He just
steering with
rips
the
it.
rear, like the
Like,
Durham style.
I don't get it. Like that part scares me where you can't feel the front, back ends over here. I'm like, certain dudes just, they rip that track.
Dirt surfing, dude.
California people
Dirt
too.
surfing.
Oh,
California
California,
kids
it's
are
a
better at that
yeah.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm used to ruts. Well, not really, because I didn't ride for 8 years.
I just
but
like a nice 5-lap Paris raceway, smooth race.
I do those every once in a
Those are
while.
fun.
Local race every once in a while. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Speaking of East Coast stuff and like ruts and the difference of that, my roommate for a long time is Jason Lawrence.
No way.
You know who that is?
No. Oh, that guy I partied with down south.
The guy
Yeah.
you look
Oh,
like. kinda.
Yeah, Jason Lawrence. So it was funny how we moved in together and everything. It was actually his first race was Southwick. Then we were at Bud's Creek. It was his second outdoor, and he was like, "I'm moving to California. I'm gonna move in with you." I'm like, "Cool." I was doing the monster thing at the time. He was probably just turned 18, and I'm like, "I'll just drive back with you from Bud's Creek, which is all the way across the country, right?" We get in the truck and like, I was like, "I'll drive first. It's all good." I'm like still learning who the kid is.
Yeah.
Like maybe met him like 3 times at this point. We start driving, and we come up to the first stoplight, and the truck just is like and dies, right? I'm like, "Dude, what's the deal?" Like this old F-150 he had. He's all, "Oh, dude, it's no big deal. It's kind of like a 2-stroke. Like you got to kind of like keep on the brakes, but you got to kind of keep it running on the gas too." I'm like, "Bro, we're going to drive this thing all the way across America. You think like this? Oh, dude, it's good. Like that's just been like that forever." I'm like, "Okay." And anyways, we ended up making it. But back to the East Coast thing, I always loved riding out here, riding tracks like that and stuff. And I went and hung out with him from Baltimore Dew Tour. We went and hung out at his house for a little bit in New Jersey. And his track in his backyard was so rutted and gnarly in the trees. Like I couldn't even ride it.
He still posts clips
Couldn't
like
even ride it.
in the backyard, like in Florida right now. Like he'll have 1 or 2 where he's ripping the backyard and he looks like really, really sick. So you
Yeah.
can tell he's like used to riding that type of stuff.
Yeah, that was like his thing, dude. Because he was just, I'm like, how's he even going, dude? I'm like, dude, can we just go ride trails or something?
Yeah.
And that was that. But that was a wild time. It was a
That's funny.
good 4 years or something. Just witnessing all the
J-Law.
shenanigans. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go back.
Let's go back.
Way back.
You bought Rico's freaking
Oh, back there.
motorcycle. I want to know how this all plays out. You're being so...
Yeah, where did it go
Don't be
from
so
there?
coy. What happened?
No, I just started riding and I just started getting like, it was probably more like chip on shoulder, like, rather than anyone like actually doing anything. I started getting like annoyed of like filming like riders and stuff and feeling like they weren't like very appreciative of being rider. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to be the jealous filmer when you're carrying a tripod around
Yeah.
and seeing the people do what you want to be doing and you're miserable. Like, so it kind of made me miserable. Like, honestly, like I was not in a great spot. Like when I was like make the first transition from filming to riding, I was so like bummed, like, because I still didn't think I could really get a career in moto.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I just knew I was bummed out filming other people doing what I wanted to be doing,
You can't help but deny that fact that deep inside you're watching it and you're like,
like
your competitiveness starts flowing and you're just like,
I mean, I guess competitiveness or like.
But you're like, I can do that. Like, why don't we just do that? It's almost like starting a podcast. You're like, why don't we just do that?
I shot the Husky. Well, I mean, it's different though too, because like a lot of times I'm filming like racers. So, like this story, I was filming the Husky intro in like 2021, and we were at Cheney Ranch, and like everyone's like, all right, there's like some sick jumps, like you could get dirty off it. Yeah. And I'm like watching like some dudes like try to like whips and stuff, and I'm like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah,
like I want to be doing this so bad. Yeah. Like, and and worse than that, some people will come in like, I'm tired. I want to, I'm like, I'd be dying to be riding Cheney Ranch right now, and like just have
Husky
to,
yeah,
So yeah, it made me like kind of bitter.
No, it's badass, dude. When life puts you in those situations, it's a blessing.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But it took you fired up.
But like having to correct that outlook that I had of being that bitter and that jealous, and like that took some doing, And I don't think it was until I got over that things actually even started like working and falling into place. Like I finally let go of being so angry.
Yeah. So you got the Rico bike.
Yes. So
and it's clearly not set up for you. So you start like kind of.
I'm just ripping around.
Start getting it set up.
I eventually ended up getting like a Suzuki from JGR. Like got like a decent deal, like a 17 450 or something.
Nice.
Started riding that a little bit, and like.
Is that the North Carolina connection?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was still out here. I actually went back to North Carolina for like a year and was riding. But
dude, so out of like all the trips you've been doing lately and all the free ride stuff and even like the events and all that, what's like your funnest experience? Like your best trip? Like what are you stoked to go back and do?
Imagination was really sick.
Seems cool.
Yeah, and it was way cooler than I thought it was even gonna be. Like and just the way that Tyler put it together and Steve Shear, like the way that they did the whole situation. I mean, it was nuts, dude. Like Rebels got catering. You're eating like a champion. Like all you do is ride all day.
Yeah,
all the film dudes, like the Verb crew, like all sick dudes, like Crane and Wes
has always really been awesome.
Yeah, it was just like a great group of people. Like everyone there was awesome. So that was probably like the raddest thing I've done for sure. X Games was cool, but it was pretty stressful. Imagination was like pretty fun.
Yeah, it's like a free ride event that you're with all your boys. And feeling it all out.
You got to be there to like really see like how sick it is too. It kind of like the broadcast quite doesn't translate.
Yeah, I picked that up too, just because having those people involved and then Tyler kind of being the brainchild behind the whole thing, it's like bound to just be a good time.
Yeah, it is.
Tyler's just always a good time. It's good vibes.
He does a really good job of like good time, professional when it needs to be professional, serious when it's time to be serious and do some dangerous shit. Like he just does a good job of like
genuine
from
hand, start to finish. That's
People don't get far in this deal unless you're like, you got to be a pretty sick dude. You got to be good all around, and I really like watching him. Like it's time to do the big jump. Like takes it so like. Dude, no one's lining up to do those third gear jumps in Imagination first. Like he just has to go.
What's up with Area 52?
That was a fun trip.
240 foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was another really fun because we went to Hill Jam, and we all drove up there, and then Hill Jam went really good. And like
you got second at Hill Jam.
Yeah, Tyler won, and Parsons got third. So it was sick. Everyone was, dude. It was heavy.
Everyone was going like upside downs, backwards.
It was gnarlier than X Games kind of.
And that course like on the hill and all that.
And there's like the little free ride course that Josh Hill built, so that was super fun.
Pretty sweet.
And then after that, we went to Area 52, which was gnarly, fifth gear.
But how many years from you just like riding Rico's bike to?
I love how we always go back to Rico's bike. Rico's getting some love,
we're on the Suzuki now, dude. We haven't got past the Suzuki, but we did get past Rico's bike.
But that's the catalyst for the whole thing.
Rico's going to love that.
We got to dig up Rico's bike, dude.
Yeah, someone find it. Who bought that thing?
Was it a 250F? What was it?
Yeah.
For 2,500?
2,500.
That's an alright deal.
It was an alright deal. I don't
know how clapped it was.
It was questionably clapped.
So then, how far removed from that till like where you're killing it on a Suzuki?
When I moved back to North Carolina for like a good year and probably had to be like 18. And then like I spent just a lot of time riding at JGR. Like I met Justin Hill and like we started riding a bunch together and I started getting better like through that, you know, riding like Supercross here and there, and like there's gnarly tracks out there. So I definitely started getting better, and I kind of started to see that like, okay, maybe I could make some money doing this. Like maybe this could be something. But even then, it was more just like maybe I can kind of be more like influencer, not influence. I never wanted to do that because it's so corny and like.
You're not corny.
Well, that was like a hard thing because I was like, okay, I know I want to like be making money riding a dirt bike, right? Because my whole thing was like, if I can get a situation where I can ride a bunch and get back to like a potential, like if I am good enough to get back to actually being a good level, like I want to know. So, but I need to be in a position where I can kind of like, you know, riding all the time and spending so much money on oil, gas, like all that stuff. I want to be able to justify it. So like, I started posting a bunch and doing stuff like that and getting like a little bit of traction, but it wasn't like trying to be like the sickest rider. I was just trying to get like, maybe I can make a little money off of something to justify riding a bunch, you know?
Yeah.
But it also kind of sucked because I felt like I had to do some, like I was doing some corny, cheesy shit and I don't like that. But I was like, I want to get paid to actually be able to practice, you know, like.
Yeah. You have to eat and keep a roof over your head and stuff. So. Yeah.
But it kind of like slowly went from that. Then it started just getting more serious. Like I started going to the hills more. Like I met Darren Durham. And then me and him started just like riding the hills a bunch.
But this level you're talking about getting back to, you never were at. You were an 80 rider.
I mean, I was
so like
good
you
on
knew,
mini
but you freaking you knew what you had inside you. You're being like humble because you're like, I wanted to get back and see what I could do. It's like, dude,
I knew I could do.
You never
gnarly
did any of
whips and
this
stuff.
though. Like you're doing it now, right? Like,
I mean, I'm glad it worked out.
8
I didn't
years
know
off.
for sure it was gonna work.
But you
anything.
knew.
You just kept doing it
Yeah.
and like kept
digging.
the style kept oozing out and just.
Well, it
happened.
it was almost harder. Like, I feel like I was like doing pretty good like 2 to 3 years ago, but like it was kind of like what I think just like my attitude wasn't good and like I just wasn't in like the best mental place yet. Like even though my riding kind of was doing pretty sweet and I wanted to get like invited to X Games like 2 years ago, like nothing was happening. So there was like a time period where I felt like I was just beating my head against the wall.
Yeah.
And that was more of like a harder time when I thought I was riding good and no one was like, nothing was happening.
Yeah.
So sticking through that was like the more difficult part. Like getting like a little bit of like traction and kind of getting decent again happened pretty quick.
Definitely.
Then like going from being pretty good and then like everything kind of working was a way
You
harder.
just kind of need the opportunity to present itself.
And I think I need to be in the right place. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, things present themselves to you like when you're ready for it. Like that's
Absolutely.
kind of
Timing.
timing. Like,
Timing's everything.
if something's not working out, there's a reason. You need to either grow more or just things are not. Yeah, the universe it'll all click when it's time. So like kind of learning that and like just embracing that.
That's some Beerman stuff right there.
Is it?
That's some mindset.
What's your goals like in the future? Do you have like, I'm sure you have some goals. What's your goals in the future? Where you want to take this
I
thing?
definitely want an X Games gold medal. Like I know
That's
it's
a good
kinda-
one.
It's yeah.
What events are you doing this coming one?
Whip is like my main thing. I think I can do good in quarter pipe. I don't know if quarter pipe's just never been like something that I really wanted to do that bad.
It's very
starting to
hectic.
like. It's just gnarly and like, but I'm starting to kind of like it more.
Are you on electric?
Oh yeah.
All right.
You know how Axel did the alley oop on the quarter pipe?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, and I always would look at it and I would think to myself, like, well, when's someone going to do that? And then he did it, which is, I know that it's so gnarly. Like, it's not like you just go do
made
that.
it look.
But when I watch you ride and like I see like your skills and your talent on the bike, I feel like you could do alley oop on a quarter pipe. What do you think? Is it?
I'm sure I
super
could
gnarly?
learn it, but I'm not like.
It's just not there. Like
I'm not really like a dude that trying to like do the gnarliest shit. Like I'd
Gotcha.
rather like just hit the quarter pipe at a decent height and try to look cool. And
really
like,
good style. Yeah.
Which I mean, I'm down to like send it. Like learning to flip was kind of a big thing for me because I've never
Big
been
thing,
like. I'm just not like a send it type of dude. Like
Oh yeah,
I'd
totally,
rather
totally
s-
not.
I'd rather stay in like my comfort zone and try to like get the most out of that zone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at pushing it more. Like for quarter pipe, for example, I think I could do good at quarter pipe, but I gotta like, figure it out. I'm really slow. I don't do anything if I think I might not make it. Like I have to be so sure that I'm gonna make something to go and like do it. Like I'm not
Gotcha.
send it like
Calculated.
type of guy. Yeah.
That's good.
Like,
I mean, I was on your Instagram and I was like, I wish this dude would send it. Like,
No, yeah, you got that
I
down.
think you got that going. You just mentioned living in your van. You drove a car down here. You didn't have a van.
I had a car. I got the Red Rocket in California.
Wait, what's a
What's
Red
the
Rocket?
Red Rocket. It's a legendary van. You never heard of
Legendary,
it?
no.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty big deal. It's a bright red E150 cargo van that I've driven across the country a few times and lived in.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she's been in like spent some nights out in Ritchie, Beaumont, you name it.
I don't remember.
Ocotillo.
I don't remember a lot of red ones.
She's at all the spots, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have seen it. She's
So
in all the
this,
crusty
it could be when we do your jersey giveaway. It could be the Red Rocket
You weren't
jersey
even
giveaway.
alive.
The van was.
Seth jumps over it. I think you remember in Krusty. Like, I don't remember that.
Oh, it's there, man. Don't worry, it is.
Wait, so you were living in your van,
Yeah, here and there.
staying in their van? Quite
Well,
a
I was
bit.
like couch surfing kind of like in
Gotcha.
Temecula. So every once in a while, you may not, quite be lined up
Catch
for the
a
next
couch.
spot yet. You know.
What couch was the most comfortable?
I slept on what we call Pillow Mountain at Vicky Golden's house.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah.
She's got a little mom instinct because she's a girl, so she probably. I could see that. The guys are like.
It was like where the
figure it out.
dog slept most of the time, Carmen.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like the sweetest. But that's usually where I would end up, yeah.
Vicky's awesome. Like how gnarly she is. Continued just to take it, and she's professional about it. She's fit. Her style's good. Like
Yeah. Same deal like with Tyler we're talking about. Just like knows how to do it, like professional, knows what needs to be done.
it's
does
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vicky Golden was a Spy athlete when I was working at Spy, and she won, I think, 3 gold medals in a row. Might have been 4,
I might have been 4.
but
No,
I
think-
definitely know it was 3.
I think it was 3-peat.
3-peat, yeah.
Yeah. When
That's
Megan
pretty
Rutledge
awesome.
fist pumped with the wrong the throttle hand.
Yeah. Do you remember that, or do you guys remember that?
Oh, dude, I was there. Holy
Heavy.
crap! She did the "Here I won." I'm like, why is the right hand up there?
Yeah.
Able to hold this and take the gold medal in Los Angeles. Oh, no! Poked her fist. Oh, she thought she was going to win it, but she opened the door, went down, and Vicky Golden is going to take gold in Los Angeles over Rutledge.
Did that just happen?
Wow.
Unbelievable turn of events.
Look at
It is all.
The last lap just augured herself.
Dude, she's amazing.
What a
rider,
heartbreaker.
though. She's an
Yeah.
amazing rider.
Yeah, that was. I felt bad for her. That was bad.
Yeah, it was,
She's definitely. I just saw her at the Supercross on the ramp with all the boys in the pits. Doing their freestyle show.
Vicky.
Yeah.
Vicky,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
She
Yeah, no,
ju-
no,
and
no,
she
no.
just
Yeah, she's
kills
sick.
it, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kills it.
sick. Yeah.
Double grabs.
So so the van, you're couch surfing, your dog bed sleeping, doing things,
Got fleas.
and then
That's a decent way to put it, I guess.
and then who's your you got sponsors now? Who was the one that first started?
Fast House was super early. Like,
They're like, we just want to give you some money and
Kenny?
put you in some stuff.
yeah, pretty
Came
much. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly how it wasn't that easy, but it kind of like looking back on it feels like it was that easy, sort of.
Yeah.
I think it took like a little while. I mean, I was just getting like a really small check, but I was like, dude, when I was getting paid, and also for it to be like, I thought Fast House was the sickest. So to be able to ride
Yeah,
for Fast
they
House,
are.
I remember getting like the first paycheck, like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Like,
That's awesome.
it's like when skateboarders like tell, yeah, I got signed by this board company. It was for $20 a month, and we're like, oh my god, we're moving.
Yeah, you were moving. You were like wheels on the ground.
Yeah,
You're going
pretty
at that
much.
point.
But then I stayed at a very similar monetary level. Well, actually, no, I got Dragon Energy for decent. Like, that's when I kind of like could just be. I was I was living off of riding. Like, I had Dragon, Fast House.
What year did that happen?
2019 maybe.
Still in the
20
van?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, I wasn't killing it,
But things are turning around.
I
a
had
little
enough
bit.
money coming in every month just from riding dirt bikes that I could just do that.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I mean, I was barely
Nice.
getting by, but it was sick. I mean, I'm totally fine with barely getting by.
A
Doing
lot
what
of
I
people
wanna
have
do.
to work at Walmart 40 hours a week to
Well,
get by.
yeah,
So
and I know
that's
it's
a
like
pretty good way.
carry a heavy ass camera up and down the hills and stuff. And
Yeah, you're on the other side of it.
yeah. So that was, but then I stayed like kind of nothing really happened for like 2 years really. So that was like a frustrating time.
Did you ever
Gotcha.
want to pull the plug and just be
Dude,
done?
right when, I mean, yeah. So a year ago, like a year and a week ago was like my first day back from my broken wrist at Raha's place in whatever that year was, 2 years ago now, or 1 year ago. I know we're bad at this. But yeah,
We're in 2024.
at the end of
Back to Rico's bike.
so I broke my wrist in half in December 2 years ago, and yeah, at that point I kind of thought it was like all my deals were going to be set up for January. I was like, okay, I know this company's gonna come in. This company's gonna come in. Nothing happened. They didn't step in. Like,
because of your were hurt?
Dude, I don't know. It was kind of
gnarly.
It just, yeah, it was
just a weird time, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a bad time in my life too, like, and just like I said, like mentally and stuff, and it just everything came kind of to a head, and it was like nothing happened, and I was like, okay, like yeah, I called a couple people and I was like, yeah, I'm done, over it. I'm gonna go fucking work at Walmart because I'm just over like, because it's just like stressing me out, dude. Like you're trying so hard to like make it, and you don't know what to do. There's not like a roadmap that says if you want to make it in freeride motocross, go do this. Like it's
mostly
not
not these days. Like.
Yeah, like it's because it's so like it's just off of like meeting the random person or being in this spot, or you never know what's gonna do it. So that was like the most frustrating thing for me. Like if I had a list of like how to work hard and go do it, I'd do it. Like I'm not afraid to work hard and bust my ass to make something happen. But like when I'm sitting there, like I don't know what to do, and then like I'll hear that some decision I made wasn't the right one and that backfired or something. And then you're just like beating your head against the wall. Like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, so that kind of was happening for like 2 years there, and that was difficult.
And just still riding a bunch, like still
riding a
working
bunch,
on your skills,
trying like hell.
Like frustrating riding? Like
Wait.
Like
was this during COVID time? Was this during?
Yeah.
That? Okay, so to tell you the truth, looking back on it, that's probably a lot of what it was.
Probably.
Without you like seeing the big picture of that's what's going on, you're kind of like, man, why isn't stuff happening? Big picture wise, it's like
nothing was
COVID,
happening.
Nothing was
world
happening.
was kind of shut down.
People
Honestly,
were just chilling, dude. People weren't working. People getting laid off everywhere, and so
people weren't looking for big sponsorship deals.
Yeah, it's just and right now things are really starting to be fun and starting to click again. You can see it.
Yeah,
like.
That's true.
We got Supercross and McAdoo's balls hanging out. We got freaking Jason Anderson jet fighting. We got freaking you winning Red Bull Imagination. Like things are happening.
Things are happening.
That's true. Yeah, that definitely was a big part of it. It was just like a weird time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was super close to. I mean, I basically called a couple people and said I was done. But then like Raha called me, like he was a big help and like kind of got me out to his place. He's like, dude, come hit quarter pipe, because I was trying to get into whip forever.
Yeah.
He's like, just come hit quarter because no one's hitting quarter. Like, he's like, I know you can air this thing good. Like, so I went out there, did that, and I got in for quarter pipe, and then that led to a whip invite. So,
you were in quarter the year before,
first.
right?
No, I wasn't in there, but I got invited for quarter pipe, and then later I got in as alternate for whip. But it's because like Raha was like, dude, come hit quarter pipe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got in.
That's heavy. Quarter pipe's heavy. It scares
me. Yeah, it's really gnarly. It's just hard, dude. Like, it's like,
well,
it's like I'm like everything I can do to hold my body like without like I don't want to just explode in the takeoff.
It's not like it shouldn't be like a thing.
Well, we need a bigger takeoff. We need to be using the one that Colby has to the right of his place because we're exploding into this tiny radius.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can you explain a little bit, because nobody knows what it's like. Everyone that rides dirt bikes, they don't go hit quarter pipes. There's a few that do it, and a few that do it. So explain the gnarliness of that.
I mean, when you start going like high, you're going like straight up the lip and you're yanking back. So you're trying to get like under it like a whip kind of, or even like on a quarter pipe, it's almost more like almost a backflip. Like you're trying to get under, the center of gravity.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of easy to bring back for me at least, because I'm just used to whips and stuff. But it's funky going from like when you're upside down and then you're trying to move it like 180 with it too. Like it changes a lot of stuff. Like it's really complex kind of when it gets to like actually changing the way the bike's facing like up in the air. But
so the G out of the entry,
that's the worst.
The actual turn of the whip, all those parts are just very non-natural, because that's not like how you ride.
You're going against everything.
And it's kind of hard to fix it in the air too. When something's kind of going wrong, it's really tough to like get it going, because you're not going that direction anymore. You know what I mean? So you don't have your forward momentum. So you're kind of falling out of the sky. And like with my electric bike, I have no regen. Like I don't have any engine braking. So like it's so loose in the air, which I like it like that with the electric bike. But it's like a whole nother thing. Like I can move that bike around so much. Like
BMX.
It's kind of scary. Yeah. But because there's nothing, like there's no.
Are you going to be able to ride that bike in X Games?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm riding that in whip and quarter pipe.
That's awesome. First time? Is it first time?
No, Sheehan
ran
it.
Whip
he did double. He did whip in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a double backflip.
And just a double backflip.
Just a double.
One of those little things.
God, it's so crazy how they just do those now.
They just do that, yeah.
How many do you think there's going to be more electric bikes than, or is it going to be equal this year? Or like who else?
No, it probably won't be equal.
Just you and Sheehan?
Yeah, I don't know. There might be a couple others. We don't know yet.
I feel like they're pretty cool for for freestyle?
Dude, I mean, I think they're just sick in general. I mean, for racing, it's obviously there's a lot to figure out with like sound and like getting cut over on and stuff. Like there's a bunch of stuff to figure out. But
They
I mean,
need to put a little horn.
deal. Yeah, something.
Yeah, or
There's a ton of stuff that needs to be figured out, but like the base is there, and like to not want to work on it, you know, is silly. Like
there just needs to be a series for those things, and just let's get it going.
I mean, it'd be sweet to have it in the actual. I mean, they're in arena cross right now in UK.
Yeah, Bogle
Mm-hmm.
went and raced UK.
Well, and
arena
they have
cross
two other
on
dudes,
one.
like European dudes that I'm not sure their names. They're
Han-
sick. They're
Hans
killing
and
it.
Franz. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. They're killing it. They're leading. Stark's leading the arena cross championship.
Yeah, they whole shot all the 450s.
They
every
rip,
time.
dude. They're
Like,
so
they
fun.
rip. And in arena cross, they're nothing. It's just like just
And
nothing's
when you
wasted.
break, there's like nothing to do except just lock the brakes up. You don't have to grab
Yeah,
the
and
clutch,
then
like
just
down
pin
shit.
it.
It's just brake,
Yeah.
gas, brake.
It's
like,
Once you get used to that, it's got to be awesome. Like just so much like less inertia, noise, and distraction, and
throttle delay,
levers,
like
yeah.
cables and stuff. Like it just feels so much cleaner. Which, I mean, like, some people are like, "Oh, there's no soul and stuff." Like, I mean, I get what they're saying, but like once you ride it, dude, I don't care if it has soul. Like, it's so much more fun and clean and like.
yeah, it's like the first
It
time
has
that
soul too.
they.
It's just a different deal.
Yeah.
It's got soul for sure.
Yeah.
It's got more like it's more of the human soul coming out in a sense because it's not distracted by the motor.
That is kind of what it feels like. More of a piece
Yeah.
of me than like I'm riding the bike. And it feels more like an extension of myself rather than I'm on top of this 450 trying to make it work, kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
When the 450s first changed from a carburetor to fuel injection, like I remember when I got a new Cali 450 and it was a carburetor, and then it was like a Honda 450 with the carburetor, and then I got a Cali with electric fuel injection, right? And I'm like, dude, this thing's like an electric dirt bike. Like it works so good. It's so responsive.
It was
and
that much
always
better.
it was that much better. So like I mean, that's kind of like just the next step, right?
Like I said, anyone who rides it, dude, you're not gonna have anyone complaining. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like freestyle is a perfect avenue for it to make its way into motorcycles, just because like in the racing world, like all the Japanese manufacturers and stuff, like Honda has one coming out and stuff, but it's like they're not necessarily pushing for it to all switch
No.
because they've got a lot of money invested.
They
in-
want to be ready for when that switch happens. And
they
Stark
wanna-
is making them have to go a little faster
they
right
want to
now.
lead it.
Yeah,
and
they're
Stark's
behind
kinda
for
like,
sure.
And dude, they don't like it.
No, sure.
I mean, like
Dude.
Stark's on the front lines, dude.
Hey, so
and
what's
they care a lot too. That comeback, they're passionate about this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
you can
that's-
tell everyone that works there. The guy
They're sick.
Justin Bellerose that I met,
Yeah.
he's really
Rad.
like on point. Good
all the people
guy.
I've dealt with.
What's your deal with Stark, by the way?
What do you mean?
Do you have a deal with them? Are they
Yeah.
giving you bikes?
Yeah,
like,
bikes and like all kinds of stuff.
little contract.
Yeah, a little contract.
Nice.
It's a good deal. I'm stoked.
Little bonus for X Games.
We got a couple of things in there. It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be rooting you on at X Games. When's your birthday?
October 27th.
October 27th. All right.
I got some time.
Yeah, no, you got time. You'll have a good 24. Get a gold medal.
I hope so.
Tyler, you think he'll up in time for that?
Yeah, for sure.
He's almost good. Probably.
Yeah, he's barely gonna miss Staying the Dirt, Florida,
Nice.
which is like 2 weeks from now.
You and Tyler pretty good buddies?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we kind of like beefed a little bit in the beginning because I was an asshole more, but now I grew up.
He was
We're
like,
all
dude,
cool.
he's like, you gotta do this a certain way.
Yeah, I was a little shithead. And he always tried to help the whole way too. I was just a mess.
Who would you say your biggest like inspiration is, like as far as someone that like helped you out coming up? Probably Rico, but like if you had to pick, if you had to pick
pissed if
someone
I didn't
else,
say.
dude.
Well, I mean, like Whacker helped me a ton.
There you go.
Yeah,
As far as like ride, I mean, like Tyler was always a huge inspiration, like his riding and everything he's done. Durham, who I live with, like I'd say, a big reason like my riding got way better, I think, is when I lived with Durham. Like we would just go hit turn tracks and just talk about technique and foot placement, and then we'd go and watch motocross videos all day and night. Like
you
just
guys would talk
examining
about
technique.
Examine-
and foot placement.
Yeah, that's what we talk about.
That's insane.
Examining technique. I
Yeah,
tell
we
you,
just
I
love
was-
talking about where our backs were, where our head, like the tiniest things, dude. We love talking about that stuff, and we would just do it
Yeah.
all the time. Like when we lived together, that's all we did was ride turn tracks and talk about technique and watch like 80s, 90s Supercross.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
that's
hang out
cool.
with Tyler. Like I hung out with Tyler quite a bit there for a few years. We'd go back after a day of riding or whatever, go back to the house, and I mentioned this on one of the recent pods, but like he was critiquing that style and his placement of his knee and literally his fingers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I won't do that instead of this, and I was like, oh man, he's really in tune with
tuned
him.
in,
And when you look at a picture of these guys now, and you look at a picture of you, or like see what you guys are doing, like it doesn't just naturally all happen like that.
No.
It's like years and hours and nights of like studying every movement.
Yeah.
And,
Just for me, it was like, dude, we talk about, we go to the grocery store, and when you're pushing a cart, we'd walk with our toes like pointed in, because we think it's like good for our legs, like to start training the muscles, like to be in all the time. And like if we're standing in line, to keep your toes like this, and like we were into it. Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
you got to be all in, dude, if you're gonna be one of those top echelon dudes.
Yeah. Well, that's like that was kind of a hard thing too. Like to get to that level, you kind of have to be all in, right? And like you need to be like your day to day needs to be like you're getting paid good money to be doing this. Even when last year before X Games, I was not getting, very good money. Not that I deserved it or anything, but like, you have to like, regardless of you getting paid yet or not, like you better be doing it to get paid. Like if you want to have a good result, like you need to be training like you are, no matter what. It doesn't fall in your lap. Like you need to be doing that work for it to end up working out,
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of hard with motocross. It's so expensive, and like it's just like hard to commit to. But you have to be so into it and make it happen. It's like privateers that travel around in vans and, are barely pulling it off, like.
Oh, that's so brutal. I've always watched that, and I've been like, that's cool.
It's gnarly,
that they're
man.
doing that, but I'm like, I don't get it.
No, I didn't want to keep doing that. Like, I'm glad that last year was a struggle, but.
Way rather just hang out at the beach.
Yeah, just
and
sit here
surf.
do a podcast on the beach and call it good.
That's awesome. What's up with your party scene? You party very much, or are you pretty chill?
I'm a lot more chill now.
So you did party.
I did party, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been
Everyone's
got to
go through it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that age you go through, right? Like raging. I mean, I'll go have a good time and drink and stuff. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm a lot more chill now, especially like when I moved out to Huntington Beach, like a year and a half ago. Like I kind of just like got out of that whole scene, like of just being in Temecula. Like, it was kind of nice to get away and kind of get more focused. And
The scene got going in Temecula, huh?
yeah, so it was good to get out of that. Like,
I've lived down here for maybe 13, 14 years now, down in Oceanside. But before that, I was always in Temecula, and I don't think it was that big of a scene in Temecula as far as the bars. But we were having house
it's
parties.
house parties.
House
Yeah,
parties.
It was house parties,
which
a
is
lot.
way more dangerous.
It is dangerous. 'Cause there's no
At least when you're
rules.
out in public, you're a little worried about getting arrested.
Yeah, it's true. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's been fun to do all this. We got to get you down. Like you ever surf at all?
Dude, I mean, I do Supercross once a year.
Okay,
I got
well,
best kook slam. I actually won the surf category one year.
Nice.
Got the trophy and everything. My
Well-
teammate definitely handled that one for me.
Who was your teammate?
Blake.
Whatever.
Something.
Michelle.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I always forget
it's
this.
our filmer.
He's right there.
This guy does rip at surfing. He helps me with some of my surfing skills. I'm
I
trying to
suck.
figure it out.
I suck.
7 years in, trying to figure this thing out still.
What else do you do for an outlet besides riding moto? You are a musician?
I like playing guitar.
Play guitar?
Punk music and stuff. Just like
Oh, nice.
typical hipster. Listen to vinyl.
Yeah. Like you're self-taught?
Yeah.
Because we were just talking to Steve Caballero the other day.
Yeah, I saw you just had him in here. Huh?
Yeah, and
You're a Thane?
You're a Thane.
I'm a huge punker. Like I love like punk music
Sick.
and stuff.
So like he was telling us how he learned how to play guitar just by the sound of it. He doesn't know how to read sheet music. And then he was, I suck for forgetting this guy's name, but from the Beatles, when he met the guy from the
Yeah.
Beatles,
Paul McCartney, John
And he
Lennon.
told him that's how he does it.
and he said,
I don't
"Bro,
know
Yeah,
how to
everyone.
read
he goes,
music.
bro, I don't know how to,
Weird.
I don't know how to read sheet music."
Yeah,
He said,
all those dudes. I mean, Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, like they don't know how to.
it's just all by sound.
Yeah, like the way I've learned is like I just learned how to read tabs, which is really simple. But like once you start learning a couple songs, like you start just like
They
putting-
kind of all.
you
have
start putting it
similar-
together. Like, oh, if I'm over here, usually I go here, and it's just like starts falling in line.
Yeah.
I like that stuff more because like everything that goes on in music, like I think that's like the sickest marketing, and like they're always like leading the edge and like the branding and imaging, and like
Yeah.
even this like the following the trends of like grunge to post grunge and where it went from there. Like there, you can kind of like study it and read like where even like action sports marketing is gonna go. Like, you
Yeah.
kind of read the trends, I like that
Yeah.
a lot.
That's sick.
Do you have any footage of yourself playing guitar?
I
No?
saw a little
Not
bit.
much?
I played like me and Justin Hill did like a couple songs at Hill Jam.
Yeah.
There might be some footage floating around, but you can't even like hear the guitar. We didn't do a sound check or
What
anything.
does the sheriff play?
He plays guitar.
Guitar also.
Yeah, and he sings. He's usually the singer.
Oh, I've seen him play acoustic and sing.
He's
a few
killer,
songs
dude.
on
He's
Instagram.
really,
He's actually
really
really
He's an
talented.
amazing singer.
Yeah.
mean, he's a really good guitar player too. But yeah,
Shit.
like singing, he's nuts.
You know who's really good at playing guitar and can sing really good is Austin Prida from
Really?
Thrill Seekers.
I didn't know that.
Dude, I'm at 212 Land back when he used to run that place before Thrill Seekers was even a thing. And we ended up staying the night out there. And
he brought the guitar.
it was such a random trip. I went out there with Scott Champion. And the two of us drove the spy van out there to race this like random 212 Land race, right? And we started drinking after the practice, and then we ended up staying the night and sleeping in the van. And it wasn't even set up for sleeping. Like we slept on like as many clothes as we could, and
Classic.
like it was like that, you know.
We've all been there.
And Austin pulls out a guitar, and we were all drinking that night, and we're out in the dirt, dude, way out there, East County, and he's just like strumming on the guitar.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
And then he just starts singing, and I'm like, dude, what?
He
Like,
rips
dude,
too, dude, riding.
And he's so good at writing. What a
And he's
talented
a
guy.
creative, talented business person. His videos, like all they do, are hilarious. Like the skits they do,
The
the
skits
Thrill
are
Seeker
hilarious,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's just a talented guy.
And then even shooting with Caballero, he was mentioning during we were all talking here that he just did a collab with him because he's an artist, you know,
Yeah,
amazing artist.
That's
and,
sick.
So it's just Thrill Seekers thing's cool.
yeah.
It's been cool to see it start out of nothing and where they're at.
Now they're downtown Pacific Beach.
Yeah.
Right.
Whenever I'm
I
in
haven't seen
San
the new
Diego-
spot yet, but I've heard it's nuts.
Yeah, you got to go by there.
I know.
I'll be down there once in a while for work, and I'll just swing
I was
by.
gonna try to go down there actually before this today, but he's in like Colombia or something. He's
Colombia?
always like in some different country, dude.
I wouldn't
Oh,
disclose
shit.
that
Oh,
information.
I'm sorry, did I say Colombia?
Corona.
He's
He's a true thrill seeker.
Colombia.
he's in Greece one month, and then he's somewhere. He's
Dude,
always-
he's sending it,
he
and
travels.
as he should be.
What's up with you working on your own bikes?
I don't.
I thought you used to,
Whacker
I mean,
does it.
Whacker saves the day.
but I saw something.
I
about,
destroy bikes, dude.
You're like, I try to work on my own bike, but no one will ever let me finish because they fear
Yeah.
for my life.
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not lazy, but like when it comes to bike work, I get so mad because like when things just don't work, you get so pissed, and I just give up.
It's patience.
There's a lot of patience working on bikes.
Changing tires took me years to get.
I mean,
down.
I've framed my own bikes before and stuff. Like I know how to do it, but a lot of strip bolts along the way.
Yeah,
You know, but
that's
hey,
the patience thing.
it's like crossing a bridge when you come to it. Like I'll cross-thread that thing, you know, whenever it's time. You know, I know I will.
Cross-thread any bridge I come to.
I'll cross-thread every bridge I come to eventually.
Yes.
So, are you still doing much of your filming, and like, are you editing, or is like you just have dudes?
I
doing
always want to edit like my own stuff.
it? Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's two different things.
Well, that's a huge part of like what I like. Like that's kind of maybe more where I don't necessarily want to go send some big crazy thing, but I'd rather spend more time like making my own art, you know, like music, edit it like the way I want it to be. Like I get more into that, like the presentation rather than actually like.
Is there anyone else doing that besides you that you
I
know?
don't know. I mean, there's definitely some people that edit their own stuff,
But
I
like
mean,
on the level of like you're like one of the top, I don't know, top 7, 8 guys
I don't know.
right now. Is anyone else?
I mean, people like, I mean, Twitch has like a vlog and stuff, and like, I mean, Colby does a good job.
But are they doing
Yeah,
that
he does it.
themselves though?
Colby does a lot by himself.
Yeah.
And
You
stuff.
can kind of tell the people that do it
Yeah.
in a sense. Like we were talking to Dino, I think it was
Yeah.
last night.
Last
he
night,
does it
yeah,
himself.
last night.
This is our first time back to back
There's-
pods.
Really?
Yeah, so Dino was explaining how he's like super on it with his
Yeah, he's always
With his
but
chew.
he's like his whole deal is like real, you know.
real, yeah.
I kind of like more like editing it down, and I don't
Art.
necessarily like it being like very like.
You like it looking like a skate clip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather it be more like an edit, even if it is of my
Yeah.
own life. If it is like even just me packing my gear or something, I want it to be more like edity.
Yeah.
I don't really want it to be like actually inviting
Very
everyone into
real.
my whole life. You know,
Mhm.
I like it to be more like a piece. That way, it's more interesting too. I'd rather break it into like a minute and 20-second clip that's really good and interesting, and then it changes to something else rather than like a long format. Like I used to watch NoFX Backstage Passport
Yeah.
on VH1.
Rad.
Yeah.
And at one point I was into it, and I wrote down like, okay, the song changes every like minute and 20 seconds, and like the mood shifts. And I remember writing down like kind of like, okay, so if I change every minute 20 seconds, it makes it like fresh. And that's kind of like how I started doing my YouTube. Like every minute and a half, like I want the song to change or something to change, so it doesn't
Nice.
get like stale kind of.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a cool little background to hear.
Did you ever have a different job other than filming? Never.
No.
Have you ever had a real job?
I mean, I was working like 10 to 7, 6 days a week at car dealerships doing filming.
But always filming.
Always
like
filming.
You never.
I mean, it was
were,
a
like,
real job.
Yeah.
But,
No,
well,
absolutely.
actually, no. I mean, I've never like.
But like
worked
sat behind
at
a
Subway.
desk or rang.
Well, I mean,
stuff
I
up.
was sitting at a desk doing the car stuff. Yeah, I would go shoot for like 10 minutes and then be just doing like
10 hours.
I was even like getting into like helping them with their website and like posting pictures of the cars, like not fun stuff.
Yeah, just work stuff.
Yeah, and it was a lot. We got some good
Good.
hills days coming up because it's been raining all week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'll be out there this weekend, hopefully with Ty Evans, the gnarly skateboard filmer,
Hell yeah.
and we're gonna try to do some heavy stuff. We got like a helicopter gimbal in the back of a pickup truck, like trying to mount it up and stuff. It's gonna be nuts.
Nice.
Yeah,
Beaumont or?
yeah, probably. I don't want
Nice.
to blow my scene out.
Well, Beaumont's been around. I've been going out there
I know that's
since
what's so
what,
funny about everyone at the hill is like, oh,
95?
blow it out, my dude. It's in Krusty's. It says in Krusty 1 and Krusty 2, Reggie Canyon.
Yeah.
Don't say where it is. I'm like, it's Reggie Canyon.
Yeah.
Everyone-
Even
or
we
Beaumont or
did
whatever.
we did the spy video years ago with like McGrath and Wyndham. Barsha was out there, but he didn't ride. But Billy Laninovich, Behrman, and we had the guys, and Wes filmed it, and it was like undisclosed location. It was like everyone knows where that is.
Everyone knows where it is, dude. Like,
Yeah, but so it doesn't matter where it is. It's how you do it and how you get out there and go about it.
the
And
people
the
that are
timing.
gonna get out there are gonna get out there.
They're gonna get
They're
out
gonna
there.
Go. Like,
Yeah.
maybe just try to set the example of like, hey, bring a shovel, fix what you fix. If you are gonna hit the stuff that you didn't build, that's fine. Just like fix it when you're done.
Do you guys ever come across that like area that we had dozered up and
Yeah,
did
the
some stuff
spy
out there?
jumps. We call it the spy jumps. That's a
No way.
very common expression of like, where is it? Oh, by the spy
Oh,
jumps,
meet
and
over
you
the-
go left. Like
Hell yeah, dude!
Oh,
We
yeah.
made a stamp, dude.
that's like
We'll bring up some old clips of this
that
video
defines
shit.
a whole entire area of. It's also like the MIA like Durham jump is a big. It's right in that same area. It's a little further
Nice.
down. Ricky Diaz has a little bit of an area out there too. Shout out to Ricky. But yeah, it's the spy jump area is what we call that whole spot.
Nice.
So there you go.
You know, like when you're kind of like, you know, there's a road that rolls in and then you roll in down, and then like on the right, there's that super like
The 3 rut.
super booter like kicker. No, that's like on the edge over where you jump over the canyon, right? It's kind of hard to explain.
It's
There's
always hard to
so
explain.
many
Yeah,
lips
dude,
and
there's so many
landings.
jumps.
Undisclosed location.
But it started at one point, like me and my buddy Mike Camper out there and just shovels, and we're just like, we just shoveled this thing, and then he had a dozer somehow. So we
Brought it out.
it was just him and I brought a dozer out there and did some shit, but we just didn't have the dozer skills or the time to like execute properly.
Yeah, what's the time?
So then it was like a couple years later, I'm like, I got a little budget here at Spy. I got some guys, and like we were riding out there, and I'm like, hey, Randy Menenga.
Yeah.
I'm like, would you be down to go out get a dozer? He's like, yeah, let's do it. Pretty low budget, but he was like, let's do it, and went out there, and that's how it happened.
That's sick.
And
I've
yeah,
seen that the step down, the Wyndham step down. I've checked out a few times. Gnarly.
That step down, you know, who was the first one to hit that though was Behrman.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just heard of it as the Wyndham jump. That's gnarly.
No, Behrman
Classic
hit.
Tyler.
Wyndham hit the step up on the other side that nobody else did because you kind of couldn't even like get the seat bounce and the thing to do it, but
Except Kevin. Could.
Kevin did it. Yeah, but the step down was so technical and gnarly. Like if you come up short or if
Or
you
go
over
deep.
jump it, it's brutal. And
Yeah.
Tyler timed it perfect. And
There's not even clips of that jump, so no one will actually be able to see that. Because, well, I guess there is in the spy video. Huh?
there is a clip of
Yeah,
it.
there's a clip.
We'll dig
pull
it
the
up.
clip.
We'll find it.
We'll take it up.
I check that thing out every once in a while.
Yeah,
I'm not jumping it.
See it from then.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
I want to do a video where you go out and like I want to show like all like the iconic jumps and stuff. I thought that'd be a sweet video.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Kind of walk you through it. And
Red
then
Bull,
there's
let's
like,
talk. Like it seems like a good Red Bull video. Come out and see the history of freeride.
I mean, Beaumont's been it's legendary.
There's so and I know like all the
Insane.
spots in Retchie and Beaumont everywhere. Like dude, I could go like show you like 50 spots of like legendary. I thought it'd be a sweet video.
Yeah.
that would be.
No
a
one take
good
my
video.
idea, please. Wait.
Takes a lot of work to do that,
Yeah, you're right.
and it takes the knowledge and the art and the mindset to even create and do it. And
I thought it'd be a cool one.
if someone did try and do it, it wouldn't even compare to what you have in mind.
Thanks, man. I've been trying to get Lando out in the hills for a minute.
Oh yeah.
He said he's down, but he's gotten his Supercross kick, so he hasn't been able to film with me. Maybe now that's over.
We'll also throw up some Lano pictures right
Oh,
here
Billy?
Oh yeah,
from that stuff. Yeah.
Dude.
he was like as far as like the first
Badass,
time
yeah.
like thinking whips were really sick. Lano. Stone Spray Sandwich at
God, he was so good.
Castillo.
yeah,
Ranch.
Castillo. Oh, that's like
That thing
that was
into
like the first whip in my memory. I mean, that and like James Stewart too had some big ones.
But that's like got that vibe of that
I'll-
turn down, upside down, backwards,
Oh, yeah.
land in a pocket, like
good rev the whole way.
sick.
Yeah.
Every guy that was there was just like,
That whole movie, Stone Spray Sandwich movie, was like a big one for me.
Yeah,
because
that
I
was-
was like had Retchie, like Doug Parsons, and
yeah. Was
Yeah.
that a Thor?
it was Transworld.
Transworld.
I think, yeah.
Because there was like the one.
Doug Parsons is OG.
Super OG. I'm dropping big OG names. Actually, you know what? The first podcast I ever did was Doug Parsons' podcast. That might be the last one I did too, because I don't like doing podcasts. It's just
Yeah. No, we don't like him either.
yeah,
But,
I can tell.
Dude, well, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
that
It
was
means
awesome.
a lot. So it is my birthday, so you're the one bringing up the party situations, or we can maybe go
I'll go get a drink.
local bar right
You gotta
here.
show me the Oceanside local spots.
All right, we're going to
never
some
been down
Oceanside
here.
It's our
spots.
5th episode, so I'm on my 5th beer.
Well, I'd say that's a great time for us to head to the bar.
You are.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's 8:05.
1, 2, 3, 4. He killed him.
He's as good at me at know what year it is.
Ossifer, dude, I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dustin Dolan had
805.
like 13 on his 9 club, so you got some catching up to
That
do.
guy is
Also,
insane.
inspirations, Dustin
Dude,
Dolan.
Dustin Dolan.
Dustin Dolan's one of
He's
my
like-
biggest inspirations too.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, for sure.
That guy is the gnarliest skateboarder.
I just like the way he did everything.
Gnarlier partier.
6 sponsors,
6 sponsors.
image, sick.
Yeah, I like that guy. I just watched like a
Badass music.
epically later.
Is
I think,
epically
on
later.
Dustin Dolan.
Also, the best epically later, Dustin Dolan.
Yeah.
Best 9 club episode,
Cheers,
Dustin,
Dustin
Dolan.
Dolan,
Hell yeah, dude. That's rad.
Insane.
Throwing it out there.
That guy's insane.
Mm.
Like for that to be a role model, you got to be a little crazy.
I mean, I'm not trying to do everything that Dustin Dolan did. I don't know. I just think he's cool.
That's rad that you tapping into the 9 Club, too.
Oh, Nine Club's awesome.
Yeah, I like Nine
Yeah.
Such a good freaking podcast. I love it.
I probably watch more 9 Clubs than I have Moto podcasts.
I don't watch. Gypsy has been
I
getting
don't
me lately
watch
for
it.
sure. He's been doing a good job, but he's about the only one. Like I've always watched skateboarding.
He's
stuff.
definitely
I mean,
had-
like punk. I like punk podcasts and stuff because I think this is more entertaining. Like
Yeah.
not a lot of people in moto are like doing it that interesting. I don't know,
Gypsy's had the volume of like big names in a row.
but he
Like,
gets
pretty
good
good.
interviews out of them too. Like it's good stuff.
It's a good outlet.
It's good. It's all good. Everyone's doing great stuff.
Everyone does great stuff.
They really do. It's really kind of a cool time. Everyone's just doing cool shit, and they're doing it their own way too. Like it's kind of a rad time to be able to do whatever you want. Like if as long as you do it just your way, a little different, it's gonna work.
Do your way.
Like,
We're at the end of the day, we're all the same fucking thing. We're
just
all
be
the
you,
same
and it'll
thing.
Be, it'll be
dude.
different enough. Like don't worry. Like there's room
Dude,
for everyone.
there's
Everyone can
room
do
for
their
everyone.
thing, and-
Your story is cool because it's like the amateur racer kid that like how Dean last night told us like, dude, he freaking had to come to a different country and like you know what I mean? Like that story of like wanting it and like how your story is like you came from North Carolina, you came here in in a car, you freaking I don't want to bring up whose bike you bought, but like dude. Like that gave you like incentive, like you worked to get somewhere. You didn't just like grow up in SoCal.
Yeah.
You didn't just have.
you gotta
3
have like
bikes
you gotta
and all
like
this
have an
shit.
image of it like in your mind. Like I definitely pictured it.
But dude, you
like,
came from across the country. Like that's gnarly.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that. That's what makes successful.
I wasn't
people,
even trying to
feel
do the moto thing though when I moved. It was just like pure. Like,
Yeah, but
Random.
look where you ended up.
I know it'd be like what's crazy. I thought Ty Evans was a really badass filmer. Who's done like Yeah Right and We Are Blood if you don't know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
gnarly skateboarder movie.
Yeah.
Guy. So like I always thought he was like super sick. And when I moved out here, I was like, man, I want to make stuff like him. And now it's like I'm planning to shoot with Ty, and I'm riding it. And
That's
he's filming.
awesome.
I'm like, hey, that's like so wild to me. Like
Yeah.
it's like craziest dream times 2 almost. Like
You end up where you're meant to be.
It's
Yeah.
honestly wild to us. It's dream to us to even be shooting with these guys we've been shooting with,
Yeah.
and even yourself, dude. Like I'm like I hit you up because it's not like we're tight homies or anything like that. I didn't even have your phone number.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, sick fan of this guy, and obviously like Jeremy and Tyler are buddies, but Caballero and I became friends through doing this. You and I became a little more friends between doing this. I'm gonna be like, that's my guy at freaking X Games this year.
Now we're going to party for your birthday.
We're
Here
going
we
to
go.
party for my birthday. We're gonna be shooting in the hills, freaking legends. I'm like,
It's on.
things just happen. Create stuff out of nowhere. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Once it gets going, it just keeps rolling, dude.
Just keep it rolling,
Once
dude.
you get a little bit of that positive and
Yeah,
momentum,
It's good
momentum
shit.
keeps rolling.
it's good shit, man. Well, like, You guys ready to wrap it up?
Let's go party.
Yeah, it's time
Let's
to
go
hit
party.
the bar.
Bye. Thanks for coming.